I remember the first time someone told me that their family was getting rid of cable and switching solely to Netflix. They asked me not to spoil the season finale of The Walking Dead. See, season 7 had just ended and Negan had swung that baseball bat, and everyone was talking about who they thought Negan killed. Oh, what a great cliffhanger! I can't wait for next season. I wonder who Negan killed. Well, if it stays true to the comics, then he kills. Meanwhile, the guy who was switching over to only Netflix was off in the corner. La 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 la, I'm not listening, don't spoil it for me. Like, how stupid could you be? Why would you make the decision to watch months later what everyone else has already watched? You're just isolating yourself from the zeitgeist. Who in their right mind would... Oh my gosh, he was right! Hi, by the way. If you're watching this video, chances are you don't pay for cable. Actually, if you're under the age of 45, you probably don't pay for cable. But as popular as DVR and video on demand was in the late aughts, early 2010s, streaming services were kind of the logical next step. A platform where you could choose what to watch when you wanted to watch it, and in 2007, when the Netflix streaming service rolled out, at $8 a month, it made a great addition to cable. Want to watch Friends for the 50th time in a row? Do it on Netflix. Then you don't have to deal with all those silly commercial breaks and shows that aren't Friends. In recent years, streaming services have really started to feel like more of a chore than the beacon of entertainment freedom that they once were. I mean, you gotta track down where the show you wanna watch is. You gotta remember to cancel your subscriptions after you're done with the show. You gotta decide if you wanna pay for Peacock, even though you know I'm not paying for Peacock. See, back in 2013, something happened that kind of marked the end of the reign of cable. Netflix, that silly little platform where you watch all your comfort shows and sit on the couch for long weekends, just did something nuts. They put out an incredible new show called House of Cards starring Everyone loves He's such a good actor. He has never done anything wrong. And now he's starring in an incredible show on Netflix. And the best part is, it's free for a month. So you could watch all of House of Cards starring for free, all at once. Free, you say? I like free. I also really like watching a lot of something in a short period of time. We really should come up with a name for that. Something that means, taking in too much of a good thing all at once. I know. Here we see the couch potato in his natural habitat. Friday after work, he turned on Netflix, laid down on the couch and DoorDashed Chinese food. It is now Sunday, and the couch potato has moved a total of 10 times over this weekend. 4 times for bathroom breaks and to pick up delivery. 1 time to lie to his mother over the phone about getting exercise. Once to get napkins after he spilled 2-day-old Sprite on himself. Once to hit the TV when it went off for no reason. And 3 times after telling himself he would fold his laundry and then giving up. Truly a majestic creature. Raise your hand if you have a comfort show. I do. My comfort show is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love this show so much that I bought a physical DVD box set just so I don't have to chase it around the internet. Or sail the 7 seas. Not that I ever did that. Then of course the show was picked up by Netflix, and then for a month and a half no one would shut up about how great the show was, and it held up so well from when I was a kid. Yeah, I know. It's my favorite show. You don't have to tell me how good my favorite show is. I have impeccable taste in television. And with Netflix, you could watch your comfort show as much as you wanted, as many times as you wanted. Sink into your couch and relax. Don't worry about skipping those pesky credits. We'll do it for you. We just want you to be comfortable. Binge watching was fine when Netflix was just a nice addition to cable. Really craving that one show or that one episode? Go, watch it. I'm not gonna stop you. In fact, go ahead and watch a couple more while you're at it, and then once you've watched to your satisfaction, you can skip on back to cable and channel surf and see if anything's on there. Or maybe you're just having a lazy weekend and you just want to relax and watch all 9 seasons of The Office back to back to back. Oh, doesn't that sound nice? But since after the great cutting of the cord, binge watching has become kind of a nightmare. All my shows aren't in the same place because companies gotta compete, so they take their big name shows that everyone loves and they take it off of the one platform that it was on so it can be on my platform. Now you have to pay for my platform. And even worse than that, original content. But we'll get to that later. Now I can't go to just one platform for all my streaming needs. Friends was taken off of Netflix and put on HBO. I mean, HBO Max. I mean, Max. I mean, the George R.R. Martin shows plus some other stuff network. Daredevil and Friends went off to Disney Plus, and I'm not trying to pay for Disney Plus. It's almost as bad as Peacock. And I can only watch a few of the seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Netflix, albeit the best seasons, without paying for Peacock. And you know there ain't no way I'm paying for Peacock. Now that streaming is the preferred method for watching shows, you gotta check which service the show you want to watch is on. You gotta check if you still have a free trial. You gotta check which one of your emails you have used for that free trial and see if you gotta make a new one for a free trial for Peacock so you can watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because I saw a YouTube video the other day that was a funny moments compilation and I remembered how much I liked watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And say it with me now, ain't no way I'm paying for Peacock. What's an entertainment lover to do? Add an extra $106.93 before tax to my budget every month, just on the off chance that there's something I want to watch on a streaming service that my friend already has access to? I know. Once we had it all. You see, Quick Timmy, his mom had a Hulu account, and that meant all the fellas had a Hulu account. Those were the days, watching Handmaid's Tale in the comfort of our own homes while on a phone call with each other so we could talk about the episode. That is until Quick Timmy's mom changed the password so all us rotten kids couldn't watch her Hulu anymore and take up all the screens while she was trying to watch The Young and the Restless. Never did see Quick Timmy after that summer. Nor did I see Detention Steve or even Mushroom Ears. Thought I saw him the other day at a Kroger, but it was just a baby Bella. And as for Blondie, my first love, well, I tried looking her up on Facebook the other day, but I never did ask for her first or last name. And Facebook does not give good results when you just look up Blondie. And that was the best summer of my life. Password sharing used to be the lifeblood of streaming services. There's a show on Disney Plus you think your friend would really, really like. Simple. Just give him your login stuff and he's good to go. Maybe there's a couple other shows on there that he wants to watch. Cool, go for it. Then the time comes where your family doesn't want to pay for Disney Plus anymore. Okay? You give it up, but he still has a couple episodes of WandaVision to finish because he still really has hope that the season could end really well. Poor guy. So then he makes an account and pays to watch Disney Plus content. It was the purest form of marketing. Word of mouth. Friends telling friends about great new shows they saw on this service or this service. And then that friend wants to watch them. Hand them the password, let them do their thing. And then they find stuff. And then they get their own platform, paying for their own subscription. Of course, that's how it was until streaming became mainstream enough that it was odd if you hadn't heard about the new shows that were coming out that you could watch on Netflix, Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime. And once that switch occurred, streaming platforms were forced into cracking down on password sharing, even though it hurts their heart, like they were doing us some big favor this whole time. The death of password sharing kind of serves as the end of the Wild West of streaming services. Some of them still allow it, but I miss the days of an entire extended family being on one Netflix account and you get a random text from a cousin you haven't seen in years telling you to change the password because he really wants his ex back and the only way she'll talk to him again is to get the new Netflix password. So like a good cousin, you change the password, tell the rest of your family about the password change, and then she doesn't end up calling him anyway because she read online that the show she was watching was in the world of insanely high budgets for streaming shows. It seems like if a show is in a total cultural phenomenon by the end of season 1, it's canceled. I mean, TV's no stranger to this, the biggest example being Firefly, which actually was a cultural phenomenon. But would it really have been such a cultural phenomenon if it had gotten more seasons? I think the only show that affected me when it was canceled after season 1 was 1899. It was such a cool, interesting, original show that not a lot of people watched to the end. And I mean, I get the critiques. There was a lot of strange points in pacing. You never really knew what was going on. There was a lot of subtitles to read. And yes, the show itself was a little out there, but I loved it. When making the switch to streaming services, we lost something that we were so busy complaining about that we didn't realize how much we loved it. I'm talking about the shows that come on between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., the shows for the homemakers to watch while they're waiting for the dryer to be done, the shows studios threw just enough money at to make it good enough, the kind of shows when you're channel surfing and there's nothing really to watch, but then you think, have I seen this episode of Mike and Molly before? I don't think I've seen this episode of Mike and Molly before. So you watch that episode, and then you watch the next one, and the next one, and before long it's time to start dinner. And you realize, wow, there's a lot of episodes of Mike and Molly that I haven't seen. It seems like shows on streaming services either have so much money poured into them that they can't afford to fail, some kind of romance novel adaptation to get the book talk crowd pulled in, or some hastily produced show that looks like it belongs on the Hallmark Channel. But mid-shows are just too much of a commitment. If it takes 6 seasons and 120 episodes before anyone starts considering it a comfort show that they'll go back to time and time again, then it's not worth the time and money for something that's not a surefire success. Mid-shows were great. They were the quintessential form of television, something to turn on while you turned your brain off. Familiar faces and voices to keep you company while you weren't doing anything else. Something to watch while you had a 101-degree fever, and sometimes you might chuckle. The laugh track was so useful there. But in the fast-paced world of streaming, there's no time for shows that aren't hits. Unless you're Amazon Prime Video and you have endless money to throw at projects until they're good. While I do despise Amazon Prime, I do appreciate the willingness of Prime Video to give shows a chance. Not just one season and then they're canceled if they don't get a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but giving them time to breathe and to learn what people wanted and try again next season. I mean, if Netflix had the Wheel of Time show, they probably would have canceled it after season 1. But with that time to grow, season 3 has been pretty good so far. Like, good enough that I'm actually excited for season 4 and to see what they can do. And yeah, maybe it's because they threw a gazillion dollars to get the rights to properties like The Wheel of Time and like The Lord of the Rings, but time to improve is rarely a bad thing in a show. And I also really appreciate Prime Video for looking out for me as the consumer and releasing episodes once a week so I can bask in the glory of the previous episode and salivate for the next one. Wait, no, I hate that. Tell me, are you familiar with the study that says viewers find it more rewarding when shows are released weekly? Well, it doesn't exist. Haha, you've been tricked. Streaming services have been using this, let's say, motto since the release of The Mandalorian. And at first, it kind of worked. The idea was that you'd gather around the old water cooler and talk about how great that last episode was, and you could connect with your coworkers. People would flock together to discuss how great the show was. They'd have viewing parties like they did in the Game of Thrones days. But in reality, it just created a separation. The people that wait until the entire series is out and watch it all at once, and the people that watch the weekly releases who know what's already happened. And then the people that have already watched have to tiptoe around just in case anyone within earshot hasn't seen the episode and doesn't want to get spoiled. Now, I have a theory. Look closely at the release dates for the big ticket shows on these streaming services. Invincible, Season 1, releases March 25th. Season 2, November 3rd, and oh, there's a little hiatus in the middle, coming back March 14th. The Boys, Season 1, releases July 26th. House of the Dragon released August 21st. The Harley Quinn show released September 29th. Don't you see what they're doing? The big ticket shows come out at the end of the month. And what's that? Oh, Invincible only has 8 episodes per season. Well, that's crazy, because so does The Boys. And so does House of the Dragon. And the Harley Quinn show has 13 episodes. Psych, 10 episodes for season 5. And Creature Commandos only had 7 episodes, so if we take 1 episode from Harley Quinn, put it over on Creature Commandos, and then we ignore the musical episode, because that was by far the worst of the series, we get to 8 shows again. And how long does that free trial last? Oh yeah, a month! Gone are the days of the 26 episode season. Seasons are just long enough to wait out your free trial and then make you pay for another month and then another month on top of that so you can watch the final 2 episodes of a season. Don't be fooled, my friend. Weekly releases are not for your best interest. They're not so you can talk to your coworkers about a shared interest. I don't even like my coworkers. Why would I want to talk to them? I'm just kidding, you guys are the best. Streaming was supposed to give the consumer freedom. Freedom to watch what you want, when you want. Shows were supposed to have higher budgets and the exact number of episodes they needed to tell their story. We put aside the Time Warner Cable middleman and went straight to the source from which our content flows. But once streaming became an industry of its own, prices went up, and that freedom of choice just became another way to show you. Ever feel bored? Lonely? Depressed? Ugly? Like you have no friends? Well, I have a solution that will solve all your problems. It's called subscribing to the Phase Shift YouTube channel. Not only is subscribing to the Phase Shift YouTube channel 100% free, but it makes Adam feel good too. And while you're at it, like the video, and comment about your favorite show that was canceled. Please note all previous claims are false. Subscribing to the Phase Shift YouTube channel does not make you have more friends, look better, or fix your mental structure, though it may make you less bored for between 10 to 30 minutes per video. Consult your doctor before subscribing to the Phase Shift YouTube channel to see if it's right for you. Some side effects may include blowing air out through your nose and something mildly funny said. Thinking, what is that from? And Adam uses an obscure reference that only he and like 10 people know. Do not subscribe to the Phase Shift YouTube channel if you are allergic to it or any of its ingredients. Obviously. I can't keep saying this. I thought we left this monstrosity behind. I don't want to be in the middle of my show and, oh, this season is so good, I can't wait to see what happens next, and then all of a sudden I'm being told to join the military or take this drug that only people over the age of 60 really need to consider. What about my choice to watch shows about dragons and superheroes leads you to believe I'm over 60? I'd probably be rejected from the military. I've already done my taxes, TurboTax, and the only A1C I care about is the amount of A1 I see next to my steak dinner. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills, my friends, and this is the fastest turning of the wheel I have ever seen. We switched to streaming because it was a better alternative to cable and network television. But between 2007 and now, we've reinvented everything we hated. Streaming is just cable with the channels being replaced by, oh, we think you'll love this. Oh, you watched this, so we think you'll like this other show that didn't perform as well as we thought it would, so we'll suggest it to you now. Bars that you click through endlessly until you get bored and decide to go see what's new on the Phase Shift YouTube channel. New videos, I try to do monthly. Mark my words. In 10 years, maybe 20 years, I think streaming services are gonna break apart. They'll break down into smaller versions for more refined search experience. You like action-adventure shows? Try Netflix Action Adventure Plus. You like kids shows? Try Amazon Prime Video for kids. I know that already exists. Don't get bogged down in the endless search on regular Netflix. Get one of the, we'll need a name for it. Ooh, like waterways, that'd be cool. So it like flows into, yeah, so people can get more specific in their refined search. There will be one for action adventure, there will be one for history and documentaries, there will be one for romance, there will be one for kids, all sold separately. But if you want, you can get a bundle or a package that tells you all the waterways you're allowed to use from our service. And hey, here's a crazy idea. Have a hard time deciding what you want to watch next? I'll leave that to us. For a small fee, we will decide what shows come on next. And you can decide whether you want to watch them or not. We'll set out specific shows at specific times, and you can go in and watch those if you want. Of course, this will be a little more expensive, but we'll subsidize it with some ad breaks. You know, like television. Okay, bye. Also, wasn't sure where to put this in, but if you're making your show to be like a secondary screen for people that are scrolling on their phone, don't make the show. It's stupid. I should either be watching my show or on TikTok, not both. Anyway, bye.